I have many other messages. Many of them are appreciating the dialoguers, but we should switch the gears. Honorable, before I ask you about the bill that was returned, do you condemn the statements that were made in Rengo? People think that this was a public endorsement of corruption in Uganda.
First of all, Luengo is where Namuju comes from, but that function was majorly for one of the most disciplined members of parliament we have, that is
Chinyamatama.
No.
The MP.
The MP.
The man.
The man.
Yes. He's called Sentai.
I can attest that he's one of the most disciplined member of parliament we have. Very loyal. That's why I can even tell you, all members of parliament, we have had functions. We have not reached the level of the turn-up of people who came to Sentai's function.
But the statements that were made.
Listen, I'm talking of now Sentai. But now for the statements, they were not needed at that time in point. First of all, they were not the right statements there, because whereas now that district is where Namuju comes from, the only statement that would have come out is that we are here for this function. Unfortunately, one of our very own has been caught up in this Urubaru, but we pray for her, and what comes may. You do not add on to condone. Whether it is a reality or not, you don't add on to condone. What you have to do is to be flat and bare and just say, the situation, as you know, we are here for this function.
What should be done after those statements? Because Dr. Jared Wale Wanzala said that something should be done. I mean,
because the head of state is saying, I'm on the one corruption.
The head of state
then
has,
number three,
the head of state has someone,
and then someone is invoking the name of the head of state.
The state.
Should we see somebody in parliament raise a matter that requires someone to apologize publicly in the house?
And I'm assuring you on Tuesday, when we reconvene on communication from the chair and matters arising, that will be one of the issue, the statements that shall be raised, depending also on who is chairing the house. But what I can confirm to you is that the president has called for a meeting of all ministers and the Secretary General.
On the same matter?
Not on on general issues, and this matter will be discussed.
Oh, in Chankwanzi.
In Chankwanzi.
Okay.
This matter is going to be discussed, but obviously, as government does not want to put things just out before they have concluded on a particular issue.
Thank you.
But it will be discussed.
We only have 25 minutes to get this out of the way. Honorable, unprecedented incident of the president rejecting the appropriation bill. What does it tell about Parliament, which sat up to the hours of the night?
Up to midnight.
Up to midnight to pass a bill, to pass the budget, whose law has been, has turned now to be questionable, even by the head of state.
Yeah. And I beg that you don't interrupt this time. Let me know. You are used to asking me questions. Only I've asked one before I conclude you. Two things or three that must first of all be considered. An appropriation bill is a law like all others. However, this one is embedded in two categories. Whereas the role of Parliament is to do legislation. But now, this is a bill that also encompasses another role, which is appropriation. So there are two roles within this particular bill. and it is rare that a president returns the appropriation bill, considering that even he, in the State of the Nation address, and also during the budget speech,
Budget reading.
he said he congratulated the Minister of Finance, he congratulated the Parliament that this time before they came to do this appropriation, the Speaker had consulted all the three arms of government. They sat in Entebbe and agreed with both the judiciary, Parliament, and the executive. And he was quite happy. It could be a surprise that this came out. But what you should know is that the Ministry of Finance itself, because of the money, you remember we appropriated 579 billion shillings to the farmer. And that was money that was for repaying Bank of Uganda, the central bank. So instead of borrowing money, in the 11th hour, Minister of Finance came, that's why you saw that budget shooting from 58 something to 72 with a 13.8 trillion shilling for repayment of the central bank other than just borrowing. That is number one. That caused the budget committee, though it came to the floor of Parliament because the whole house that passes this bill, to do some reallocation. That suppressed almost 750 billion shillings. That was earmarked as priorities. That said, Parliament, the President is part of Parliament. The way our Constitution was done, the President is the fountain of honor. Before a bill is a bill, he signs it. So in any case, whereas we have the Speaker, it is as if the head of Parliament is the President, because he's the one who makes the final signature.
No, he head is the executive.
Yeah, before the law is done, including even the judiciary. The Chief Justice has no prerogative of mercy. The President has the prerogative of mercy. So the way the Constitution was made is that the President can do anything at any time, but he brings back to the arm to handle his issues. And this Parliament has not tested this. Since time immemorial, I have not seen a bill that has been returned to the President twice and has been made law, because though that provision is there, that if you return the third time, and the President doesn't sign, it becomes law. That test of time has not yet come in this country. What I know is that we always reconsider, because by the time the President returns the bill, he has made certain consultations with the Ministry of Finance, with other stakeholders, and when it comes back, we engage. We don't always agree with all what he has proposed, but we sometimes agree with some and disagree with others. So we are waiting to see what, because I know the budget committee must be sitting on Monday, and on Tuesday, the whole House will be sitting to reconsider the issues the President has raised.
Where does now this leave the legislative arm, which actually has the role of appropriation, and now the President is also coming in to challenge your in your role of appropriation?
Yeah, because the Constitution should have been explicit that on the issue of appropriation, you do not need the signature of the President. But the President is the principal Minister of Finance. You know that. That is the principal Minister of Finance. So if whatever, even when you are appropriating, is the fountain of honor, is the overseer of government. So if there is something that is going to affect his government severely, he can bring it back to the arm, and with reasons as to why he thinks A, B, C, D should be amended. And if we are not convinced as Parliament, we take it back again. Recently, he brought a number of sections in this anti-homosexuality. We agreed with some, and still disagreed with some and went back and decided.
Thank you, Honorable. Our MPs are really greedy because they receive handouts to pass the bills. Almost everything in Uganda is being taxed, from diapers to rent, land, even drinking water. In Uganda, we have a ruler, not a leader. We need to know you, who sent in the message. King George, that is what is on the status, but thank you so much for tuning in and of course following the discussion. Thanks for the show. His Excellency Ruto bowed too early to the pressure of the Kenyans, which will be a routine to agitate for any change. Uganda is proactive, and above this, I am Musinga Fred from Mukono. You seem not to agree with him. That Uganda is proactive. I think he's talking about the president and the state.
And until
in fact, it's these words which made him say like that.
until when they are not, that's when you go. Because you know, for me, good thing I was in Sudan. When you are there, you tell a Sudanese that Bashir can be deposited.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe until he was deposited.
Okay. Somebody here says, what you sow is what you reap. Everyone should be ready to reap. Your power can't stop it. I think that is one person who is not happy with what is going on. No names, but anyway. What the speaker said on the function disqualifies her from office. It shows she supports wrongdoers in parliament, and this confirms that NRM government doesn't have more authority to fight corruption, and how the speaker confirmed as she had talked to Mzee Kaguta. She reported that she had talked to the president.
He said he's going to pardon their daughter.
Pardon some of these people and they will come back. Waswa Jonathan from Mubende, and he says Mpuga is my leader. It is your right. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Morning to all, to you all. Our situation is out of control, and it can only be the UPC government that has the way to reset us back to normalcy. This is Pascal from Ruwaga.
Dr. Wanzara, are you still in UPC?
I left UPC.
He's never aware.
Doctor,
I left long ago, but I still believe there were certainly good things. And
do you agree that UPC can reset this country?
But
UPC
UPC,
suffering.
no, it is within NRM. It's there, it's one and the same. So which UPC is he talking about?
UPC has 3 leaders now. It has Jimmy Akena, it has Peter Walubiri, whom the court said is the authentic one. Then also Joseph Ochen also took Walubiri to court, that Walubiri rigged him on the Zoom election. So
Wanzala was one of the strategists. Young.
I didn't know he was the younger.
I was there.
Young Congress.
You were using winger.
And Doctor, let's not lose the discussion. Tell us what you think about the president now rejecting the appropriation bill. Is he infringing on the independence of parliament to do its appropriation role, or he is actually finding parliament somehow unworthy to play their role, to identify priorities and appropriate for those priorities?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that what the president is doing is within the law. That he has a right to return the bill twice. If the third time he fails to sign it, then it can become law automatically. But if he's returning it for the first time, he's rightly in order. However, for me, my concern has been from the beginning, I want to reiterate, it has been the process of budget making, and whether the way we do our budget, we intend to achieve the objectives of the budget. One, the budget cycle starts in September. So a whole year we have a bottom-up approach. Districts where they start from down to line ministries, and then by March we have the budget framework paper, and then after that you have the ministerial policy statements, and then the secretarial committees do their work thoroughly on the different budget lines in the budget. So by May, the budget is debated and approved. So I want to for me, I like that. that our budget goes through a participatory process from down to May when MPs discuss and pass it. So, but if you look at this year, it was a unique year. That at the last moment when MPs are about to pass the budget, we added from
agenda of almost 14 trillion.
Exactly, and everyone was confused that couldn't the government have foreseen this of the Bank of Uganda loan and included it in the beginning? Why wait up to the tail end when the MPs are passing the budget, then it comes? Actually, what was more fun is that there were reports in Parliament that the minister was hawking it, walking with it from office to office on that day until they had to collect. It was a kind of a crisis. So for me, that affects the quality of the budget. And I know MPs were in a hurry, in a crisis, they passed it, but they were not happy. I believe that. Then
You saw even on the floor.
yes. So for me, I've not seen the reasons because I saw a statement recalling Parliament from recess, but I've not seen the reasons why he's returning it. I only
The
say
590?
I only say the clerk.
He says the reallocations were not to
The priorities
of government.
Yeah.
Yes, so
That members, actually what is coming out, it is like in committees of the budget committee, that some members lobby for the works in the constituency so as to get mileage over them.
so me, I think
And that's where those reallocations came from. And then the president says, no, you shouldn't have reallocated these monies when they were actually going to fund priorities of the NRM government.
for me, I see that I think he's continuing with the blood that he announced on the State of the Nation address, whether MPs want blood or peace or amnesty, because he talked about it. He said interfering, you know, why do you do that? So I
Interfering
think
with the budget.
Exactly. I think he just wanted, now the MPs are threatened, so he can return the other and replace his priorities that he wanted, but also using too many threats or just if we use the corruption fight as a way also to cow down the legislature, I think it will also be a problem. If it's a genuine fight, let it be. And then lastly, outside this, I wanted to respond to something. It was called King George.
King George.
King George. Let me tell King George, who is watching us, that I think for him, he has a presumption that government is sympathetic and therefore they will be kind and do for you good things and you live a happy life. It is not like that. People demand for these things, for these changes. You have to demand, you have to engage. You have to engage leaders to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do. And you demand accountability within using your spaces that you have. So these countries we see transforming are not out of the blue. They are interventions of the citizens. So for me, he should know that there's no kind, governments by nature are autocratic, by nature they are repressive. Politicians by nature are usually detached from the realities of the people they rule, and therefore, that is why civil society exists, that's why political parties exist, that's why different civic organizations exist, to push leaders to change.
Okay.
When you see this is wrong, push, demand this, demand this. So let him not expect a kind government.
All right, thank you so much, viewers, and this is the dialogue. I need to get a quick update from Godfrey Tumwebaze, and Godfrey Tumwebaze is down in Hoima. He's right there with the Honorable Daudi Kabanda, a member of the, actually he's the Secretary General for the Patriotic League of Uganda, but of course the Member of Parliament for Kasambia County. Godfrey Tumwebaze, give us a quick update on what is about to happen in Hoima and what should we expect before I speak to the Honorable.
Okay, thank you so much to see me, Apollo, and our guests in the studio.
We are coming live from Hoima City, the oil city, and here with me I have Honorable David Kabanda, the Honorable MP for Kasambia, and again the Secretary General for Patriotic League of Uganda. Of course, there is a Thanksgiving event that is going to happen at Boma Grounds in Hoima City, but of course I cannot say much since I have him. I want to give him a chance to explain to our viewers who are watching us all over the world what is going to happen and why all these Thanksgiving ceremonies, barazas, they are preparing. Some people think that these people are campaigning for Patriotic League of Uganda. So since I have him, let me give him an opportunity to first tell us why all these functions we are seeing for Patriotic League of Uganda. Whenever we are live on Soul TV, the program is called The Dialogue. It's when this time we give them what has been happening, but again, the big topic of the week. We are live on Soul TV. Say hi to our viewers.
Thank you so much, my brother Godfrey Mwebaze. To all our viewers, good morning, and thank you so much for having me this morning from Hoima on the dialogue. I appreciate the time and also appreciate the opportunities that Salt Media give us, because everywhere we go, I've always mentioned this, you give us coverage, and we are so grateful for that. Thank you so much, and may the good Lord bless you. As you have clearly stated, my brother,
Thank you.
we are in Hoima to attend a Thanksgiving that has not been organized by the Patriotic League of Uganda leadership, but by the people of Bunyoro. Bunyoro is comprised of some districts. From Kagadi, you go to Kakumiro, you go to Chibale, you come to Hoima City, you go to Hoima District, Chikube, Bulisa, Masindi, Kiriandongo. So the people in this sub-region have organized a function, and they have called it a Thanksgiving. They are thanking God for the appointment of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba to the level of CDF, and also to celebrate the appointment of Chairman Toyota, who is the National Vice Chairperson for the Patriotic League of Uganda. We want to say to the people of Bunyoro that we are so grateful, and we thank you so much for having this in mind. We want to thank you for this initiative, for deciding to appreciate the contribution of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba towards the stability, security, and everything that has been done as far as keeping Uganda, East Africa is safe is concerned. So we are here in Bunyoro, and we are expecting Chairman Toyota to preside over this function. And as you have seen, maybe have you gone there?
Yes, we've been there.
Last night you must have been there this morning. By 6 a.m.,
from Hoima City, and the PLU, Patriotic League of Uganda, are holding a Thanksgiving in that area. And we thank you so much, Godfrey Mwebaze, for that update, and the Honorable Kabanda Daudi.
The organizing
Quickly,
committee,
can he conclude?
which
Honorable.
was led by Haji Mustafa Zaidi, His Worship, the Mayor of Hoima City, Worship Brian Kaboyo, the entire committee, Jonan, Simwe, Jovia, and everyone that has had a contribution towards today's Thanksgiving. We thank you so much, and we call upon everybody that has not reached the Boma grounds, please come, because the function has already started.
Honorable These events looks like you people, you're trying to campaign indirectly. Can you elaborate more on that? Is this true or not true?
First of all, I want to disagree with whoever says that the Patriotic League of Uganda is indirectly participating in what we call early electioneering, or we are campaigning. This is absolutely not, because this is not the first function. We have been organizing these functions from way back, 2019, 2020, even after elections, 2021. So whoever says that the Patriotic League of Uganda is participating in early electioneering is maybe misled. We just appreciating and thanking God for that far He has brought our chairman.
Okay.
So we are not into any electioneering.
But Honorable, who funds all these events? Because we've seen drives and what. Who funds? Where do you get money to facilitate all these functions that is happening all over the country?
These are some of them are nyekundire activities. Nyekundire means you do things at your own. Nobody coerces you, nobody forces you, nobody puts you on pressure to support certain activities. So these are nyekundiri activities. I have told you, as of yesterday, I got reports that 42 cows had already been contributed by the people of Bunyoro. You have seen the stage, you have seen, you can hear the drives, they are still moving around. And I told you that the Patriotic League of Uganda leadership, the UPDF leadership, has not given even a single coin to the people of Bunyoro to organize this function. So I want to comfort our people that we are not using the government resources as some people want to allege. No, the people themselves contribute towards these functions.
Lastly, how is Honorable Mawanda? Just as we get back to the studio.
I don't know. Honorable Mawanda was taken to Ruzira. So he's there. We are expecting to see him again, maybe on 9th. That's when he will appear in court again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable David Kabanda, as Secretary General of Patriotic League of Uganda. And thank you, Apple Sime, and our guests in the studio for giving us this opportunity and time to share with you what is happening in Bunyoro. We are going to be broadcasting this event live on Soul TV. So that's what I can assure to our viewers watching Soul TV, that we are ready. Our team is ready. Edin Subuga, Peter Bunyas, to make sure that we give you what is going to happen. My name is Godfrey Mwebaze. Let me get back to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Godfrey. And this is the dialogue. We only have a few minutes to wind up, gentlemen in the studios. It will be on reparting shot. And a message here. Thanks for the show, Mr. Apollo. I am happy with Kenyans to show that people power is. Let our opposition in Uganda learn something from Kenya. Otherwise, MPs are not helping taxpayers in Uganda except to steal money. I am Ain Isaac from Nazareth. Honorable, you can sense the frustration and anger in the public. Wind up now. Let me have you first.
And the demeanor, what used to be honorable is becoming dishonorable.
Oh.
First of all, in Uganda, even a councillor of a village to a sub-county is called honorable. So the word honorable now, I think,
has been watered down.
From the village, when you hear people at a burial function, everybody is called honorable. So it is no longer even sensible to be called honorable or whatever. So it's honorable of the village, honorable of the sub-county, honorable of parliament. We take it. But without parliament, a lot of theft could be done because of our role, of our oversight role. Parliament is doing enormous job to check on the most corruption areas. You know, a whole institution of parliament. There are three institutions, legislature, judiciary, and executive. Out of the 72 trillion you are talking about, parliament takes 1 trillion as its budget. 1 trillion.
It can't be a reason why they are also now involved in
Listen,
corruption.
because of that, that does not, the money, the privilege of money is majorly where money goes. Most money is going, he has told you, these permanent secretaries, these cows, those are the people, and without parliament to go and squeeze and do oversight, all these monies would go. But because we are the representatives of the people, we are not supposed to soil our hands anywhere.
Thank you.
Once that is seen, it will be seen as if it is us. Yet it is us controlling, and the reports, the people being arrested, all of them, it is because of parliamentary report.
Thank you.
It is the parliamentary report which makes these people be arrested.
Thank you, Honorable.
In fact, the public,
Finally,
the public has not assisted us. The public should come up themselves to say this lifestyle of this man seems is stealing money from someone.
That is people
be
power
the
you're
people.
talking about.
Yes.
Finally, people power. Will we ever see people power?
I really laugh when I hear my friends who mean well, like Gerard here, and actually it's my first time to interact with the Honorable from Kabwedi. He looks, I mean, he sounds very reasonable, more than, he's above the average NRM people, because being in NRM means you are unreasonable most times. Yeah. But he's quite reasonable in you know. But I want to say two things. The reason I was saying that I really laugh at people who mean well, like these two gentlemen who think that in this campaign of Museveni there is anything. Museveni can't fight corruption, because by doing that he's fighting himself. His own, we have him now, he would be in Rwakitola looking after cows. If it was not for corruption. He bought members of parliament in 2005 to lift term limits. He gave them 5 million each. In 2017, he gave them 29 to lift presidential term limits. Age limits. These are all documented. So a person who is there because of corruption cannot tell us that now maybe so can become, so can become poor. We are on a religious television. Maybe so can become poor, but it takes a miracle. So I think for me, when the last thing I want to say is, when the Honorable Bet Kamya proposed that, but these thieves, they have become so smart in stealing. You can't trace where they have gone. I mean, where they have passed with our money. Let's audit how they live. You know the past person to strike that down. He said, leave our thieves. The good thing they steal and invest here. So when you begin antagonizing them, they will go and invest elsewhere. A person who 2 years ago was telling us, leave our thieves, cannot be the same person telling us now is he poor, who is determined to fight corruption. Give me a break.
Final comment from you, Dr. Gerald.
Yeah, there are some committees of parliament that have done a commendable job, like trade under the Honorable Mpaka.
And I was on the committee investigating this.
They did a great job on cooperatives. They were able to incriminate their own, the basis upon which the investigation started. So some of those achievements, I commend them. But I think we need people of integrity to run certain institutions. Without integrity, we are wasting time.
Good. Thank you so much, our viewers, and thanks so much, the panel. Honorable Mugore, Beka Bate, and Dr. Jared Winamanzala. Betty is watching from Rubirizi District. Thanks for the program. All we need is for these MPs to go and sign the censure motion. Did you sign? You're not yet. They are saying you go and sign. My name is Prince Apollo. Thanks so much for your time.
The camera was not on him to show the answer he has given.
Let's catch up next Saturday in another edition of The Dialogue. We wish you all the best of next week. God bless you. God bless Uganda. Good afternoon.